refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me keep on running. Toes they gonna take it.
This is what we got to tell.
Every fan doing this.
I felt it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What up? What up? Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. I am your co-host, Davey Dollars, the VP. Shout out to everybody that was at the fantasy draft yesterday at the Commander Stadium. So it was a great time. Shout out to Donnell for setting that up for us. Definitely a great job. We got the new Santana Mall and a couple of other Commanders players, or say former Redskins players. Jordan Reed was there, so it was actually a really good time. But today, we get to talk about one of the most historic franchises in the NFL, known for having one of the toughest defenses in NFL history, the Steel Curtain. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason. And we got two Steelers fans here, two very profound football fans. We got Asa, who's known for being on college football. He's also a Miami U fan, so shout out to the U, of course. And then we got Vaughn. He's definitely Mr. Steel Curtain. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me back on here.
Sure.
Yeah, man, I'm doing great as well, man. Let's get active.
Let's get active. We are live right now on Facebook and YouTube, so make sure you like, share, subscribe. Have fun today. I see some people in the comments already. I got Big O in the comments, Joe, and then Wifey, of course, always here support. So appreciate you. Appreciate y'all, man. It's gonna be a great show. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be the host. I actually wanted to do this. I almost wasn't going to be able to do it, but I'm here now. Vaughn, my guy, we got a lot to talk about. You guys have had an interesting offseason. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we do, it is Friday. It is the day before the weekend. It's actually the start of the weekend, and we know happy hour already started. So let's turn up, y'all. Turn me up, up. Up. All right, y'all. Let's start the show. So it's been kind of like a silky smooth all season, kind of, sort of, for the Steel Curtain, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Got a brand new offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith. Gave Mike T a 3-year extension. Vaughn, I'm gonna start with you, man. What do you give you guys your off-season grade?
All right, man. So for the off-season grade, I'm gonna give us a B+. I think that we did address a lot of things that we needed, especially in the draft. We got, I think, some really good young talent for the line. I also like the draft pick of Peyton Wilson. He, I think, was a steal of the draft, really. He's a guy, I think, that is going to be making plays out there. He reminds me of the Nate Herbig pick that we made last year. He's a guy, I think, once he get in, he's going to make some impact plays, even with limited snaps. Also like the additions of Patrick Queen. I think that was an excellent pickup. It gives us a lot. Like we just picked up Peyton Wilson, like I said, and now I feel like our linebacker core is really good. We got a really good rotation there because our front is always been our strength for our defense, especially for like the run stop and things of that nature. But with him and Landon Roberts, I think that's going to be a really tough duo to deal with when it comes to running the ball, especially up the middle. Um, of course, you gotta love the turnover we got as far as our quarterback situation, from having Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky to now having Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and even Kyle Allen. Having him, I think he's a solid backup for a backup. So I think that our quarterback situation is very great. Not I wouldn't say very great. It's very good. We have a guy in Russ that he can give us a year on the cheap deal. Then we got a young guy in Fields he needs to learn, because despite him having that upside, despite him having he has that spark where he can make some magic happen. He makes a lot of mistakes, and I wouldn't want to live with those mistakes this year. I'd rather let Russ get out there, a veteran, a guy that has won before, because we try and win. That's we at. We tired of mediocre. We here for greatness now. So I feel like this is a chance for Russ to really make the most of this. And the reason why I didn't. I'll go ahead, do your thing. You muted.
We got a super chat from Blaze. Shout out to you, my guy. $4.99. Not too much hate for the Steelers. Always have respect, and we were once the Steagles, but we control Pennsylvania.
Donations.
It's always a back end compliment dealing with the Eagle fans.
Facts. I was just about to say that. He said no hate, but said that.
But yeah, the reason why I didn't give us like an A, because I felt like we did really good, is because of our wide receiver situation. I feel like I do like Roman Wilson. That was an excellent pickup in the draft. However, getting rid of Deontay Johnson, we did get a solid cornerback, I believe, in return, and Dante Jackson. However, I think that our wide receiver situation, like our wide receiver room, is a little bit weaker. I know we got George Pickens, but we need a second guy that, we got Calvin Austin, third year. He's a speedy guy. Roman Wilson, he's more of a slot guy, but I love that draft pick. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. Then we got Van Jefferson. So we're going to see. So I'll give us a B+.
All right. What about you, Ace?
Yeah, well, I couldn't agree with Von more, man. I think we have like a solid B for our offseason grade. Much like what he said, the wide receiver position is definitely a cause for concern, in my opinion. I don't think Deontay Johnson wanted to be there anymore, which is really why the trade happened. What I think of Dante Jackson coming from the Panthers, I think he is a solid player. However, with Corey Trice coming up, coming off that injury, I'm kind of worried that, if Corey Trice does end up being who we think he can be and playing opposite of Joey Porter Jr., it's kind of like we made that trade for nothing, So hopefully that's not the case, but it's just something that crosses my mind. As far as the quarterback situation, we all know that Russ is starting. Mike Thomas said he had pole position from the beginning of the offseason. And, I think that Justin Fields definitely has made some strides. You've seen it in the offseason. People have, said that he's been sharper as the weeks gone along. And he definitely is going to get some playing time during the season. I'm just not quite sure how much. Hopefully it's not a situation where Russell ends up getting benched, because that may possibly mean we lose a few games early on in the season. I think it's critical that we win on the front end of the season with how tough our schedule is. Speaking on the draft, I think Troy Fontenatu, I think he's a pretty good player. I don't know how his transition is going to be into the league. Of course, there's going to be some a learning curve playing tackle in the NFL, but I think he has the athleticism where he can, shine in some games, and hopefully he'll come along as the season goes. I'm very excited for Zach Frazier at center. replacing Mason Cole. No offense to him, but he just wasn't working for us last season. You know, he was giving up a lot of pressure on the inside, and it just, it derailed the run game at times. The passing game couldn't look like it could hold water. So with that, hopefully, I mean, and our offensive line is shuffling a lot. So, hopefully with the shuffling of Broderick Jones moving to left tackle, we still got the guy from the Eagles. His last name escapes my mind right now, but, I think he actually just got hurt too. So I think that's another critical thing. We're going to have to stay healthy. But, yeah, I'm very happy with our offseason moves. All in all, it's been a way more active season than past years. And I think, it's definitely a step in the right direction. I think Omar Khan is doing a great job. The only thing I can really gripe about is the Deontay Johnson trade.
Yeah, I was going to say you guys didn't really lose much this offseason. I mean, you cut Keanu Neal, Allen Robinson, and Pat P. I mean, Pat P may be the only one that you may miss, but I think your cornerback situation is going to be fine. You still got Joey Porter Jr., so I don't think you're worried about that too much.
We ain't gonna miss Pat Pete.
Nah, yeah, but
Well, I'll say between the three players, that's probably the
Yeah,
only one you might miss.
he was getting burnt up last year.
Yeah, and you also got Cam Sutton. You went and got Cam Sutton this offseason, and Quez Watkins is I think who you was thinking about. You also got Boston Scott on the practice squad, so I mean you got another Eagle there. Y'all definitely made some interesting moves this year. I kind of had a 2-part question I wanted to ask you guys. One was about the coaching staff having Arthur Smith there. How you think that's going to affect your offense? And with missing out on Brandon Ayuk, do you think that there's a receiver out there that you guys can still trade for?
I'm not too sure. At this point in the season, I think we need to just focus on who we have in the building, man. When you think about the Tennessee Titans that Arthur Smith led to, well, not he led them to the AFC Championship, but he helped that team get there. They had rookie AJ Brown, I think, and everybody else in that wide receiver core. You probably can't really think of their names right now unless you're a Titans fan. So I don't think that we need elite talent for Arthur Smith's offense to be effective for us. I also think that it's going to take us back to our roots and what we know as still a football, run first, physical, smash mouth football and a tough defense. And I think that as long as we can keep that identity and lean into that, we'll definitely, be on the pathway to success because, I mean, it's been proven to work. We haven't had a losing season in, God knows how long. And a lot of that reason is because of how we played. And we got away from it for a few years, We got, offensively charged and let the defense fall by the wayside. But, now we have the defense back. We just need to start leaning on physical football and controlling the clock.
All right, we got super chat real quick.
Hold up.
Shout out to Joe. If it wasn't for Joe, we wouldn't have this network here. So shout out to Mr. Refuse to Lose himself. Member for 13 months. Shout out to the Turbo Towels. I root for the Steelers for my brother Vaughn. Shout out to Dave for hosting. I have a question. What y'all think about Roman Wilson?
I love Roman Wilson, man. I'm a big fan of Roman Wilson. I like his heart, and I think he's an excellent route runner, in my opinion. I think that's something that he's going to showcase in the offense. And that's, the beauty of having a guy like Arthur Smith, just like Ace said. In Tennessee, what was they really doing? They was leading with the run, a lot of play action, and I think we had the team for that. You hear a lot of things about our line. However, I think we will be okay. We're gonna have some young guys out there because we don't know how long Samalu is gonna be out because he just got injured. But I think we got guys that can hold up, and with the offense we're trying to run, we can get some play action, get Russ on the move, and it can be very effective.
Yeah, I like Roman Wilson as well. From watching him from Michigan, I always thought he was a very gritty player. He's definitely willing to get out there and block. He's a team guy, And I think that we need a lot more of that on this team. For some reason, the past few years, it seems like our wide receivers have been like very diva-ish. And, I think that's probably a sign of the times. Wide receiver is a very flashy position, especially these days. But I think Roman Wilson definitely will develop into a pretty key player for us eventually. I'm not too sure when. I know he's hurt right now, and hopefully he can bounce back from that injury and be able to be a productive player for us this year. But if not, I do have faith for him in the future.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next subject.
All right, hey Dave, before you go to the next one, it's just one guy I want to mention. Beanie Bishop Jr. He's a undrafted rookie that we got from, I think, West Virginia University. He's actually our nickel corner. He's starting as our nickel corner, and from what I hear, he is very aggressive. He's physical. He loves to tackle. So that's a name to look out for. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about him.
Shout out to Tomo on the ones and twos. All right, I'm gonna look out for him. I'm definitely gonna look out for him. Steelers is a team that I've always respected. It's just me and Vaughn be going at it just because. That's all.
Got to.
But let's go ahead and talk about these quarterback predictions. You got two quarterbacks in there now. You got Russell Wilson on basically like a $1 or $2 million deal. You got Justin Fields there now. You traded him like a 6th-round pick just to get Justin Fields. It wasn't much. What do you guys predict Russell Wilson and Justin Fields to do? I'm gonna tell you what I saw in the predictions that I saw, and you let me know if you agree with it and what you think is going to be. I saw for Russell Wilson that they were predicting he would complete 66% of his passes, throw for about 3,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and about 300 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. For Fields, even though he won't get much playing time, as far as we know right now, 62% completion percentage, 850 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, 1 rushing touchdown, 200 rushing yards.
I have to bounce. I have to fight back on that 1 rushing touchdown. I think at the very least he'll have like some red zone packages. Some goal line stuff. I think he's too talented to not put him in certain situations. I think he could definitely be a great, change of pace for like 3rd or 4th downs. I'm not mad at the Russell Wilson numbers at all. I think he's going to have a very productive season. Much like his season last year at the Broncos. I know the narrative around his season last year wasn't great, but statistically, when you look at it, it was pretty solid. I think he had only 8 interceptions to 24 touchdowns. Come on now. Like who wouldn't want their quarterback to have those kind of stats on the season?
Let him cook now.
I think that, also with getting them both for dirt cheap, it's not like we're invested too much in them. Like we don't have to go one way or the other. Excuse me. We can really let it just play out and see, who's definitely Najee Harris is crazy. You're not about to do that. But I'm not about to go on a tangent right now. I think that, they just have to be game managers. They don't have to be the MVP of the season. They just have to do what they have to do and lead us to a win and not lose us the ball game. And I think that they can do that. I know sacks are going to come with it with their play styles. That's fine. I'll eat that. But as long as they can, still extend those plays, which does kind of worry me with the line and all the reshuffling, it's going to take a little bit of time for those guys to get used to blocking for 4 to 5 seconds, because that's a long time in the NFL. These guys hold on to the ball. But it does tend to some, pretty explosive plays. And with George Pickens back there, it only sounds like it matches up to me.
Okay. Vaughn?
Yeah. How many touchdowns did it say for Russ?
27.
Okay. I had him at, I think he's going to have just like Ace said, a productive year like last year, but I think it's going to be even better just because he's not going to be in a hostile situation. You're under a hostile situation like that and you're still able to perform. You got guys like Jerry Jeudy, he not coming out performing like he's supposed to. Your guy Sutton, he wasn't there the whole year. So it was a lot of things going against him. His running back situation, they couldn't really get no running on the ground. Excuse me. What did he have in Seattle? He had a solid defense. He had a solid run game. And I think that's what we can establish.
And the O-line that protected him.
Yeah, see, and that's the only question mark at the moment due to, injuries. Because last year our O-line wasn't terrible. We just had like our center wasn't the best. But once we put Broderick Jones in, our O-line got a lot better. And with a lot of these additions, especially like he said, Zach Frazier starting at center, I think our line really is going to be a lot better this year. But it's going to take some time, just like they said. But I do think Russ, I don't think Fields is going to really be like beasting out. I think like he going to have some goal line packages, like they said. And I think they might try some trick stuff or like a reverse to where he throw the ball and things of that nature, try to use his speed. And I think that it's going to work at times, especially if we're able to really run the ball and really control the game, get back to how we really want to play. But I think with Russ, man, I think it was the safer choice, the more experienced player, and I think the guy that can lead us further.
All right. Do you think that there's a possibility that Justin Fields may create some quarterback controversy? I know I've heard a few times that he said he wants to be the starter. He believes he's the starter. Do you think that's going to cause some friction in the locker room?
Come on now, dog.
No.
Come on, man.
You heard Fields already say, he's here, to do his job. All that, him starting all that, he leaves that up to the coach. He believes in himself and the process that he's going through. And I feel like right now it's Rush's job to lose. Like, only way he gonna lose that job if he give it up. It's like, you got a sweet job. It's like you only gonna get fired if you fire yourself. That's Rush right now.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that it's going to cause a controversy necessarily. I mean, if Russ gets hurt, I mean, supposedly you're not supposed to lose your job to injury. So, I mean, I don't think that situation is going to cause him to lose it. I think he's just going to have to go out there and stink it up. Or, yeah, I think that's really the only way that it happens, to be honest with you. Like, it could be fan pressure, very similar to how Kenny Pickett ended up first getting in the game. I think that was against the Jets 2 years ago. They had the chance in the stand and everything. I mean, that could possibly be the situation with Justin Fields. But again, Russ really has to lose it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the schedule. You guys are projected to get 7.9 wins. Let's see how it goes for y'all. Steel curtain. Start off week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. Who wins that game?
That's a dub.
Yeah, I have us winning that game as well.
Okay.
I think our defense plays well. Like I said, I think our secondary gonna be sneaky good. We're not gonna be like the best in the league, but it's gonna be sneaky good. So, they got Kirk Cousins coming off a crazy injury. They got a lot of young talent over there on offense, and their defense not bad neither. But I think we can get them. We always come out strong week 1.
Yeah, I think, like I was saying earlier, I think we just have to get out to a very strong start this year because our schedule is so tough. I think that, Arthur Smith going against his old team. I do think the Falcons have gotten better as a team over the offseason, but I do think, new coach and everything, it may be a learning curve for them in getting everything ready. So I think we can pull that win out.
Okay. My bad, Blaze. You're right. It's not steel curtain. It's silk curtain and yellow drapes. That's what it really is.
The disrespect is crazy.
Nah, that's insane.
Oh man.
That's an Eagle fan saying that though.
And he said there was no hair earlier. It seems otherwise to me.
Accusation. False accusation.
The very next week, still on the road, you go play the Denver Broncos. Russ revenge game. How does this go?
I think it's another W. I think they got the motivation, and I think we have the better team.
I'm 100% with Ace on that one. Those first two games are going to be the first one for the coach, second one for Russ.
That's right, because Arthur Smith did come from Atlanta, so that makes sense. All right, first home game. You play against the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh is back. He's back in LA now. Justin Herbert with really no weapons. How does this game go?
I got another dub.
I do as well. Like you said, Justin Herbert with no weapons, a finicky defense. I just don't. I don't see them really winning.
And it's our first home game, home opener. So I think we'll come out strong.
Okay, got them starting 3-0. Then you go back on the road, play against the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson is back healthy with Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor. How does this game end?
I got another dub, man. I'm not going to lie. I don't think that Anthony Richardson, he makes a lot of mistakes. You can't make mistakes going against guys like TJ Watt.
Exactly. He's still a rookie. You know, he's still a rookie until he proves otherwise. He played, 2-3 games last year? So I'm not too well. I might be underselling. He might have played more, but still, I still don't think they're winning. I think we have a very good history against playing the Colts too. Even though we did play a really tough game last year, I think we lost. But besides that, I think we kind of own them boys.
Okay, now you go to the big playpen. Week 5, you go play Dak, CD, Micah, and the Dallas Cowboys. What happens in this game?
All I ask.
I'm a little crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I was going back and forth on this joint. My pride cannot allow me to say we're gonna lose to the Cowboys. But I'm gonna leave my pride at home, and I'm gonna think analytically. This is not for the people in the comments because I despise them right now. But I do think it'll be a tough game. We may get an L right here, mainly because it's in Jerry's world. But it can go.
We home.
Are we home?
Yeah, you home.
I can't even see that, John. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
But, yes. Yeah, we probably take an L right here.
I got a dub, man. I don't see
the
Cowboys coming in our house Sunday night primetime game. I don't see them coming in our house and beating us. I don't see it. I just don't. I think that, they don't have no run game, to be honest. I don't know who their running back is. And I don't think Dak is just gonna come out there and beat us.
Okay. So that was
we got him.
My only worry for real is just Micah Parsons going crazy on the line. They disrupting our whole flow, and I feel like we one of them teams. If we get behind, it might get a little ugly.
Yeah. What's Micah's downfall though? You gotta run at him. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to establish the run as a team. So I feel like if we're able to be the team that we are expecting our team to be, the physical, ground and pound defensive team that got a quarterback that don't make a lot of mistakes but can make plays, that's gonna be crazy.
We talked about this all
I ain't mad at that.
Everybody do your job, okay?
It's going to be interesting to see. It is early in the season. Micah is usually high early in the season, so it's going to be interesting to see. And it was a mistake on my end. I said playing in the playpen, but you're actually going to be at home with the Turbo Towels. Then you go and play.
I will say I'm taking all bets though.
Oh, okay. You heard it first. A say he's taking all bets.
Don't get it twisted.
You go
Donations.
and play. You go and play the Las Vegas Raiders. Brand new head coach Antonio Pierce. You got Gardner Minshew as the starting quarterback now, and you got Devonta Adams, who's he's happy. Rookie Brock Bowers from Georgia. What happens in this game?
I think we get a W.
Just one of them games. Gardner Minshew, he due for a crazy win every year.
That's facts.
I think this might be the game he get his crazy win on us in Vegas. I think, because last year, even though our team wasn't as, I would say put together and it felt like we was all over the place last year, kind of. They gave us some fits. So, and that dude, Mad Max, he a problem. Every time we played him, he be all over the place. So I think we take an L right here.
I can't see that because we do always have one of them games where you go in confident and you think it's just going to be a sweet day, and it ends up ruining your day. So I'm not mad at that take.
All right, now it's back-to-back New York games, but you start off with the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers, hopefully he's healthy and playing in his game. Got Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed. Maybe Hassan Reddick is there. Who knows what happens with that situation? What happens in this game?
I believe we get another W. Like I said, I think we start the season off strong, definitely in the first half. I don't think the Jets are better than us, to be honest. Even with Aaron Rodgers and Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson, I don't think their line can really hold water. I don't think that the defense is elite aside from a few players, or maybe one or two players actually. Yeah, I think we get a W.
Yeah, I'm with him. A W for sure. I think at home we're gonna be a big problem. I think we have a really good home record this year. Let me just say that.
Okay, and then you play against the lonely Giants with Danny Dimes, Malik Neighbors, and the others, along with a revamped defense, kind of, sort of. What happens in this game?
Yeah, W. Poor Malik Neighbors because he ain't gonna get nothing done with Danny Dimes throwing him the ball.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
All right, then you go to your bye week. Then you go and play against what could be rookie sensation, Jaden Daniels. They just traded away Jahan Dotson to the Eagles. They got Bobby Wagner on the defense now. Brand new head coach, brand new defensive coordinator, Joe Witt Jr. What happens in this game?
I think this is going to be one of them games where this guy shines right here. I'm sorry to that man, Jaden Daniels, because he might get beat up. W.
I got a W too. Yeah, I see a lot of rookie quarterbacks, young quarterbacks doing that to us, unless they like Burrow. Even Burrow, he have his games, but yeah, we do that to Burrow too. But I don't see Daniels doing his thing on us, to be honest. And like I said, I don't think they running game is all that. So what they gonna do?
Yeah, rookies don't survive when they see us, especially quarterbacks.
Might have a point there. Then your heated rival, Baltimore Ravens, comes into Pittsburgh. Lamar Jackson, brand new running back Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. Patrick Queen is now on your side. What happens?
The same thing that happens every other time. Duh.
Facts. They ain't beating us in our house. Nah.
They can have Derrick Henry. They can have freaking Jesus for all I care, man. They ain't got
Emotional damage.
Yeah.
Wow. So first 10 games, you both have them starting off 9-1.
Yep.
Okay. It sounds like a playoff season.
Oh, definitely. It's do or die right here.
Okay.
That's how we treating this year.
Then you go and play the Cleveland Browns on the road. Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, who was mentioned earlier. Nick Chubb should be back in the fold by this point. You know, his first game should be week 5 against the Commanders, but who knows where he is at this point in the season. Denzel Ward, who had his 5th concussion in the preseason. What happens in this game?
I think it's another W. I think we have to come out swinging when it's our divisional games, because we're getting close to that little streak where we might have a little bit of trouble, and if we don't win these games, then it's going to be bleak later on. So I think we're gonna get a W. I think we go and handle business.
Yeah, this is I was going back and forth on this one, but I felt like we perform on prime time. Whenever it's prime time, Mike Tomlin got them boys ready to play. So I do agree. I think we get a dub right here too.
Okay. Then you go play Joey B, Joe Burrow. Tyler Boyd is gone, but you still got T. Higgins, still got Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon is gone. He's now with the Texans. Do you guys beat Joe Burrow?
I think this is our first divisional loss this game. I just think this may be one of the ones where they get us.
Yeah, I agree.
He on point.
Yeah, coming off the Ravens and the Browns, it's gonna be tough for us to get 3 straight divisional wins, especially in Cincinnati. So I got that at L too.
All right, then you go right back home, play against the Cleveland Browns again. Do you sweep them?
I believe so.
Bring the brooms out.
Swiffer Dustin boys.
Bring out the brooms. Then I think, to me, this is probably the start of what could be I think it's just your toughest stretch had already started once you played against the Ravens.
Yeah.
But now you go and play the Philadelphia Eagles at the Link Sunday on Fox. Who wins the Pittsburgh battle? Who's the better team?
Let me tell you something.
In Pennsylvania.
Undoubtedly, unequivocally, it is us. I am tired of the comments. I had it as the L at first, but I changed my mind. We dusting them.
Hey, yo, it's funny because I'm the same way right now. Like, Blazers keep talking. Like, keep talking. Man, we ain't losing to them, bro. We owe them. They were stunting on us when we had Kenny Pickett. It's like Kenny Pickett 4th game or something. They were stunting on us. Kelsey put the little Batman thing on, Batman mask on, and all that. So we at their neck, man. We out there. Hurts better come and play. That's all I gotta say.
Next, now you're on the road to Baltimore. Do you sweep the Ravens too?
It ain't unheard of. Let me just say that it's definitely been a precedent to sweep them birds. But I think they can get a W right here. I think we'll take the L to them. I just think that it's just going to be a tough stretch. A lot of games in with shorter rest days in between. I'll give them this one. By the way, only their second time beating us since 2020, but
right.
possibly, quote unquote.
See, I want to be with you, but it's like we own these dudes. Like, it's like, even if we come in there with Kyle Allen starting, we still got him. I feel like, because we have the better coach on the defensive side. We have the better game changer, the better guy that'll wreck the game. I mean, offensively, they got the star. I'm gonna roll with you though, Ace, because I'm not gonna go too crazy with all these dubs, and
we gotta be a little humble somewhere.
We just coming off beating the Browns, then the Eagles. The Ravens they'll get this one. Lamar probably finally get us second, third dub against us or something like that.
Yeah.
What more do you want from me?
Then you go back home, playing against the reigning Super Bowl champions, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs with Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown, Rasheed Rice, Nicole Hardman, and Xavier Worthy. L'Jarius Sneed is gone. He's now in Tennessee. What happens against the Chiefs?
It'll definitely be a tough game. I think we'll take an L just simply because nobody wants to play the Chiefs around that time of the year. You know, that's usually when they cut it on. Mahomes is, doing no-look diving passes, and Travis Kelce is just dancing somewhere 5 seconds later. So it just seems like one of them games where they may be clicking.
It's Christmas. They're going to cheat for Mahomes. Y'all know that. I know that's what's going to happen. They're going to cheat for Brad. It's going to be a tough game, though, because this is going to be our – I think that's the only home loss I have for us this year. And, I got the Chiefs winning this. It's going to be tough, though.
Well, I guess I don't need to ask you, Vaughn, about the last games because you said the only home loss was against the Chiefs.
Yeah, we ain't losing to the Bengals at home.
Yeah,
well, I'm guessing. I mean,
unless we resting players, something like that going on. But even if we resting players, we're gonna be having Justin Fields out there. He liable to go off.
You both have a matching record of 13-4 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, sir.
So that raises the question. Now there's this call for Mike Tomlin being, solidified as an elite coach in the NFL.
He's been solidified.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the last 5 seasons it hasn't kind of sort of been that way, but I guess.
How not though?
I mean, he hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, so that's kind of sort of why I'm saying that.
Name a coach that has had worse quarterback play than him, and won a coach that's better than him and won a playoff game.
Kyle Shanahan, he did have Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't that good.
No, he not Kenny Pickett. He not Mason Rudolph. He not.
Jimmy Garoppolo back up with the Rams now. So,
but come on, man, Jimmy Garoppolo was playing pretty well back then. He was a solid quarterback. Mike Tomlin had a Jimmy Garoppolo. He could have got him a dub. But if you ain't got no quarterback, you need a quarterback nowadays to win. Like, you can't name a coach that consistently made it to the playoffs. He only missed the playoffs 1 year with a quarterback. The play that he's had in the last 5 years, either the same level or worse. You can't name a coach that made the playoffs every year and did that.
Let him cook.
So that's why he's top 5. He a guy that maximizes what he has. TJ Watt always getting hurt. Minka's always getting hurt. Like, the dude make magic. Like, we went 10-7 last year, and if Kenny Pickett don't get hurt, or if they start Mason Rudolph instead of Mitch Trubisky, we beat the Cardinals. We beat the Patriots. That's an easy 12-5.
Easy 12-5. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say this about Mike Tomlin. I do think Mike, like Dave said, I think Mike Tomlin definitely maximizes the most out of his players. I think that the players love to play for him. And I think that definitely is the thing that gets us over the hump a lot of the times when we're having a struggling year. I will say, though, one thing that has to be proven this year is what is the standard now. Because Mike Tomlin has always coined the phrase, the standard is the standard, but the standard has been, quite frankly, mediocre the past few years. We can all admit that.
Yeah. Okay.
However, in that mediocrity, we have made the playoff the last 3 or 4 years, or three out of the last 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. Granted, yes, we haven't won a playoff game since Trump first ran, so that is kind of concerning for me. But I do think that this is the year that, like he said, better quarterback play. I think staying healthy will definitely be a key thing for us. I mean, as it is for everybody, but we're starting to have aging stars now. Cam Hayward is basically paying for his last contract he'll ever get. Minka Fitzpatrick needs to prove that he can bounce back from the so-so season he had last year. Even though getting hurt, he wasn't the turnover machine that he used to be.
Facts.
T.J. Watt, I mean, we're not too concerned about him. We still have Alex Highsmith across from him.
Mhm.
Um, like mentioned earlier, Nick Herbig. He's the guy who's definitely going to come in and make plays. The guy has a crazy motor, very
Crazy.
reminiscent of T.J. Watt. Peyton Wilson, I think that he can be an impact rookie for us. I think that plug him into the linebacker core. He's a guy who just has a nose for the ball. He'll be everywhere on the field. Patrick Queen being the leader of that defense, I think will definitely help because I think he'll have the helmet communication thing. Who else is there? Keanu Benton, I think he'll take another leap forward on the defensive line. I think Larry Ogun, I can never say his last name, but you know what I'm talking about. I
Mm-hmm.
think he'll also help stuffing up that line, especially in the run, in run defense. The only thing that I'm really concerned about defensively is the secondary, and that's just who's going to step up opposite Joey Porter Jr., and that's hoping that he's also taking another step forward. So I think that all the things are in place for Mike Tomlin to prove that he is an elite coach and for people to stop questioning it. I think it just happens. I think we have a pretty good season. We probably mess around and win the division.
I
Yeah.
mean, with 13-4, I would expect you to win the division.
I mean, yeah, but in the NFL's toughest division, sometimes sometimes your good record ain't good enough.
Yeah.
So come down to
That
them
mean, hey,
tiebreakers.
that must mean the Ravens are the Ravens. Someone else in this division is either 13-4 or 14-2. I think that's the only way that you lose this division if this happens.
Well, I
Yeah.
definitely see us going forward to in the division. Yeah, the only way that happens is if the Ravens sneak one or the Bengals sneak one.
We'll see. We'll see. Let's get to your bold predictions now. Ace, I'm gonna start with you. What's your bold prediction for the Steelers for 2024?
My bold prediction is he win the division. As the Crown Show just said, the show must go on, and we gonna win.
Vaughn?
Steelers gonna make the AFC Championship.
Okay. So is that with Russ or with Justin Fields?
For Russ and Justin Fields. Like we said, we gonna put them in there some ways. And then I got Minka Fitzpatrick gonna lead the league in interceptions.
Okay.
Also, T.J. Watt, defensive player of the year.
I don't think that's bold. I don't think that's bold. TJ Watt is by far the best defensive
Hey,
player in the league.
They
So
try to break my man down. They try to act like he's not a freak, and I'm tired of it. He is one of the best players in the league. He's by far the most impactful player in the league. So I don't see how every year people can come up here and talk about Myles Garrett because of his pressure rate. What is pressure rate versus sacks? You know what
facts.
I'm saying? It's like, come on now. Let's be real. Let's really talk about who making plays and who looking pretty.
okay. Okay. Hey Tay, if you out there, they talk about your boy Myles Garrett. They saying he stole one last year. A lot of
Definitely
people
stole
agree.
one.
A lot of people agree with that. So let's see what happens this year. I definitely think that TJ may have a great year this year. So who says that he doesn't win defensive player of the year? I don't know, but it's going to be a great season to see. Man, this is a great show. Great show. Glad you guys were able to come on. Let's get these last words out. What's the final thing you got to say about the Steelers, or anything you want to say?
I think that with better quarterback play, George Pickens is going to solidify himself as a star in this league this year. I think Pat Fryermuth is going to be a lot more involved in the offense, and you're going to see him, catching passes down the seams and taking more routes downfield that he couldn't do in Matt Canada's offense. I think that we're going to see. I think that we're either going to see a step up from Najee Harris in the contract year for him, or we're going to see Jalen Warren take over that backfield. because I think this is very much like a Zeke Tony Pollard kind of situation. You know, Zeke was the bell back. He had the touches, but then Tony Pollard was just so much more effective when he got the ball, and he get the ball in more different ways. I think that's definitely kind of like how Jaylen Warren is. You know, he's just more of the back that you would want in the NFL because he can do more things. But other than that, I take it back. We're going to sweep the Ravens. You know, I think they're trash. They suck. They can't beat us. They haven't beat us. We could talk about that on the panel. If I don't make it on the panel next week, we definitely talk about it mid-season because it'll be close to the time for y'all to lose. So, you know, whoever talking, make sure you're there when I'm there.
Calling you out, Chris. He said, make sure you're there.
Oh, man, this dude, he said they was going to sweep us last year and got swept. Like, he just like to talk, you know. I get it, though. He a Raven fan. And that's what they do, you know, that K2. But I want to say, man, the Steelers, like we said, man, we tired of the winning seasons. We trying to win, you know, be a contender in the playoffs. We always had the defense. We had the stars on the defensive side. Our offense always just held us back. Like he said, George Pickens is a star in this league. And with a guy like Russ, I feel like he's gonna target him more because he had 1,000 yards last year on only 63 catches. So he get a lot more targets, a lot more catches. The production is going to be there. So I feel like with Arthur Smith, we get this run game going. Our O-line, we young, but I feel like we got some good young talent on the line and a nice mix with a couple of veterans. So I really got us, you know, it could either be a very mediocre year for us, or I feel like it's going to be a really good year. I don't see it being like just a winning season. If it's a winning season, we're gonna be 13-4, or 12-5, or something like that. It's no in between for us. Either we're gonna be cheese or we're gonna be like that. So that's my mindset that I'm going into for this year.
Okay. You heard it here first. Steelers Nation said that they're going to be 13-4, win the division, defensive player of the year, AFC Championship game. Let's see what happens this year. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate all the comments that's been going in. I know some Ravens fans went crazy in the comments a little bit. Shout out to the 2 super chats we got from Blaze and Joe. Until next time, we will see y'all. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.